Okay, hello, my name is Julie, and today I'm going to talk about involvement in traditional Irish dancing. So before I start telling you about Irish dancing, I'm going to tell you about my background and how I've come to be involved in Irish dancing and my Irish culture. So my mum was from Ireland. She came from County Sligo in the north of Ireland, and she moved over here when she was 22 with her sister. She lived in rural Ireland until then with her family. There were 10 siblings, 11 who were born to my grandma, but 10 survived to adulthood. They lived a relatively good life. They weren't particularly poor. My grandfather worked on the railways, and my grandma ran a small farm. So they had chickens, cows, they grew their own vegetables, and they ate well. They had a reasonably good life. One story my mum tells me is that the neighbours, who were much, much poorer, used to come over to my grandma if they were having visitors and borrow the curtains from the windows. And the Irish people, who are very friendly and very kind to each other. So my grandma was more happy. So the majority of my came either to England or to America. And I think I had two uncles who stayed behind in Ireland. So my mum was married to an English man, but she was very keen to keep the Irish tradition and the Irish culture. So when I was about 7 years old, I joined a local Irish dance group. And I danced until I was about 15. I remember doing competitions. Some of them were outdoors, and I remember my mum made my costume, my dress to dance in, and any medals that I won were sewn onto a sash. So fast forward to about 30 years ago. My little daughter, who's now 35, wanted to do Irish dancing. I remember she watched Riverdance on the television, and I said to her, "Would you like to go and see that show?" And she said to me, "See it? I'd like to be in it." So that's why I took her to Irish dance class. So when I got to the class for the very first week, all the children were lined up, and there was one other adult who didn't have a child there, but wanted to do some Irish dancing herself, because she'd done it when she was younger. So we both asked the teacher, please could we join the class? So we both joined the class and we joined it with the children. More and more adults, parents in particular, joined us. And eventually we had enough adults for the teacher to make our own class. And the reputation of the class grew. We had quite a few people joining the class, lots of adults. But unfortunately, the teacher just left us one week and didn't return. But by this stage, we had a collective experience of lots and lots of steps from our own childhood and the new steps that we'd learned. So we carried on like this, and we've been doing that for well over 25 years. Now we have about 50 people on our register, and we have to limit the number of people who join to twice a year. We do a mixture of ceilidh dancing, C-E-I-L-I. So ceilidh dancing is when lots of people join in a group and dance as a group. And we also have solo dancing, which is where we dance on our own. And this can be either soft shoe or heavy shoe. And heavy shoe is a little bit like tap dancing. The sort of dances we do are reels, slip jigs, light jigs, and the heavy dances we do are hornpipes, or a treble jig. There are also some traditional set dances. And these are dances which have been passed down from generation to generation and have never changed for many, many years. We compete once a year as a group, and there may be 4 in a team or 8 in a team. And we do ceilidh dances such as Sweets of May, or the haymaker's jig. Again, these dances are traditional dances which haven't really changed since probably hundreds of years. And these are dances that traditionally Irish people would do at social occasions. Quite often they danced outside at crossroads. Another dance that we learn is called a brush dance.
Brush dance.
Brush dance. And as the name suggests, we use a brush. It's quite a light-hearted dance and quite humorous. 3 people generally dance around a brush each, which is laid on the floor.